No sci-fi. You must be playing the shitty Harmony of Despair game. Have you even finished this game yet, Sci-Fi Chick? Like the proper ending? You are not. What do you mean you think so? Who is the final boss in your game? Does it rhyme with? Does his name rhyme with Scott Bakula? Does his name rhyme with Scott Bakula? Really? You didn't want to know who the final boss was in a Castlevania?
I knew!
Did you? Did you?
Yes!
I mean, he's never played a Castlevania game before. Fuck if I know. Even though the beginning of the game starts with the final boss of the last game, which just happened to be Dracula. He probably doesn't even realize that, what Alucard spelled backwards is. Oh my god! REDRUM! When I found out what REDRUM spelled backwards was, I freaked out when I was a kid. I freaked the fuck out. I told the story before. But when I was a young tyke, probably... I'd say I was about 8 years old. Probably about 8 years old. What grade are you in when you're 8 years old? I was probably in the 3rd grade when I watched it. The 3rd grade. How old are you when you're in 3rd grade? What? I was in 3rd grade. I stayed up late one night, probably like a Friday night or something, and me, my 2 older brothers, I don't think my younger brother was born yet, no, he was born. He was like an infant, kid or something like that, a little toddler. Yeah, like a little toddler. I stayed up one night, and with my 2 older brothers and my father, I watched. He just throws himself right at the sprites as if
I can't fucking dodge him!
Like this time, the enemy's just gonna run right through him.
Shield does shit.
Like he just keeps walking. Like, why are you just walking into them? They're not gonna stop just because you walk into them, Jack. This seems like the best course of action.
I had more health than last time.
You do know, like, when one sprite touches another sprite in this game, damage happens. Jesus Christ, Jack.
Woo!
Not that this puts you in any better position than you were before.
Puts me in a great position. What are you on about?
Yeah, you're that much closer to that boss fight.
Exactly. Exactly.
When I was a young tyke, me, my 2 older brothers, and my father, we watched Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. The skeletons are dancing too. Or it looks like they're sharpening their swords. And so The Shining is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And when I was a kid, it horrified me. But I also didn't know what REDRUM meant because I was young and I was stupid. I was not a grown-up. I could not spell. Or maybe I could. I just wasn't thinking about it. I was more concerned about the blood that was used to write the word or something. But REDRUM, and then the kid would go, REDRUM, 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 and they get higher pitched, and I would freak the fuck out, and it was fucking terrifying. And then the part where like he goes to the elevator area and like blood starts coming out of the elevator and filling up the room, shit terrified the fuck out of me. And then he's riding on his big wheel and he's driving around the mansion, or I mean the hotel, and the two girls at the end of the hall going, "Come play with me, play with us." I was horrified, but no more horrified than when the part when Jack Nicholson goes into that one room and he goes into the bathroom and the lady in the bathtub comes out and they start making out and it turns into this old like decaying lady thing. It was so scary. It was so scary. And then the kid be like, "Red Rum! Red Rum! Red Rum! Red Rum!" And when the movie was over, I was a little kid, so my dad's like, "All right, go to bed, Brad." And like, but Brian and Bruce get to stay up. He's like, "Shut up and go to bed. You're a cool kid." And I'm like, "Okay." So then I go upstairs and I'm on the top of the stairs, which has like an overlook down to the living room. And what I usually do is when I was a kid, because there's like an overlook to like the living room, I used to just sort of sit up there and like out of the view of my dad or whatever, whoever's down there, and just sort of like stay up and sit on the upstairs landing or whatever you call it, the upstairs walkway, like looking down, because my older brothers were down there and they were cool and stuff, and I could listen to the TV. And I was up there, I was fucking terrified, just hadn't seen this scary movie, have to go to sleep all by myself, and I overhear my older brother Bruce going like, "Oh man, I was really scared when did you know Red Rum backwards is murder?" And when he said that, I flipped my shit, dude. I just started screaming at the top of my lungs. Just screaming at the top of my fucking lungs. And my dad's like, "What the fuck? Shut up, Brad!" And like, and I'm just having a complete fucking mental breakdown. Just going insane. And that night, like, I couldn't go to sleep. So my dad said, "All right, guys." And my two older brothers had to come sleep in the same bed as me that night because I was too scared to sleep alone.